All right, getting ready to OTT.
Okay. Did you need your mic after that?
Not through you guys.
Okay.
This is a severe weather alert. You are watching 13 on your side.
Hey there, West Michigan meteorologist Michael Behrens here with you. We're tracking a line of strong to severe thunderstorms that are making their way through West Michigan on this Saturday afternoon. There has been wind gust possibilities as high as 60 miles per hour with this particular line of storms, and it's working its way through the lakeshore counties at this hour. Give me one moment here. We'll make sure that the audio is coming through our Facebook live broadcast just to make sure you guys can hear. But we're tracking that line of storms. It's moving off to the north and east at 45 miles per hour. Sounds like we are coming through, so that is good. We'll go ahead and go back over to the radar, and we'll show you what we're looking at here. Two areas of severe thunderstorm warnings that are in effect as of right now. Those are for the first one for Mason, Oceana, and Muskegon County. That goes till 4:45 this afternoon. Those severe thunderstorm warnings likely possibly to expire here very shortly as that line of storms is starting to work its way into Newaygo County. The other area of storms is further to the south, Ottawa County into Allegan County and Van Buren County. Also at the moment going until 4:45 this afternoon. So we'll have to keep an eye on that particular part of the storm. I think those warnings may be extended a little bit longer, as you can see that area of rain just now starting to make its way into the counties here. So you can see the leading edge of the storms just passing through Holland, working its way down toward Allegan County and Van Buren County, just coming on shore at this hour, and it's going to be tracking its way off to the north and east around, again, that 45 mile per hour range. So let me go ahead and we'll put two storm tracks on here. We'll track the northern portion of the line first here. That one is past Muskegon and just about outside of the warning area as of right now. That's going to be in Fremont as of 4:12 this afternoon, Baldwin at 4:15 this afternoon, and then it's going to continue on toward Newaygo by 4:23, Croton by 4:32, and Reed City by 4:39. The southern portion of this line, again, not really that deep into the warning area as of right now, so it's still got plenty of places to go between now when that warning's supposed to expire at 4:15. So I wouldn't be surprised if we do see that one extended some. Again, also moving off to the northeast at about 45 miles per hour. That's going to be in Zeeland at 4:12, Allendale at 4:15, Hudsonville at 4:22, Allegan at 4:28, and Grand Rapids by 4:35 here this afternoon. Now, the big threat with any of these lines this afternoon is going to be the winds. Winds have been gusty all day long regardless, as the system has been pushing through West Michigan. There's been wind advisories in effect all day. In fact, winds at this hour gusting as high as 45 in Muskegon, 40 Holland, 36 in Grand Rapids. Sustained winds around that 20 to 30 mile per hour range. The highest gust we've seen so far today, at least recorded gust, is 48 in Muskegon, 39 in Grand Rapids, and 40 in Holland. The risk with that line of storms, though, is that we could see gusts of 55 to 60 miles per hour. That's the reason they issued those severe thunderstorm warnings for this afternoon. As far as what we're looking at on the forecast here through the next several hours, we are expecting those wind gusts to continue to be around this afternoon, around that 45 to 55 mile per hour range. They continue through 5, 6, 7 o'clock tonight. Once we get to 8, that's when the wind advisory expires. You can see the wind gusts dropping under 30 as we head toward 10 o'clock tonight, but still quite breezy overnight with wind gusts that finally start to die down some around the 20 to 30 mile per hour range still tomorrow. So still breezy, but not that 40 to 50 mile per hour wind gust that we've been seeing this afternoon. As far as the wind alerts out there, again, wind advisories cover the entirety of West Michigan from now until 8 o'clock tonight. All counties under a wind advisory for those gusts as high as 55 miles per hour. That severe thunderstorm criteria around 60 miles per hour. So that's why those warnings were issued as that line came on shore with some of those wind gusts on the other side of the lake and near Chicago that were recorded as at severe thunderstorm strength winds. You can see the darker colors on the alerts the other side of the lake and up to the north of Mason County. That is high wind warnings that are in place, where they're seeing even stronger winds than we're seeing here in West Michigan. We'll put the hour-by-hour forecast on here. Model doing a pretty good job of tracking the placement of this line. Again, that continues inland as we head through the next several hours. This is 4:30 here, 5 o'clock. It's starting to work its way through Kent County, Kalamazoo, working its way into Montcalm County and toward Ionia as we head past 5 o'clock this evening, continuing on out of our viewing area in toward Lansing and Mount Pleasant as we head towards 6 o'clock this evening, and then continuing on towards Saginaw, mid-Michigan, and eventually off to the east as we head past sundown tonight. So it's going to be something that we'll keep an eye on for the next several hours here as we track this line through West Michigan. We'll keep the Facebook stream, the OTT stream going here until 4:15 when we see what they do with those alerts that are in place right now. Again, the coastal counties here in West Michigan, the shoreline, are on the severe thunderstorm warnings until 4:15 this evening this afternoon with 60 mile per hour wind gusts being our main risk. Now, there is a small risk that you could see some hail embedded with this line of storms, but I think that risk is fairly small, and any hail that would come through not likely to be severe. We'll put the hail potential on here right now, and in fact really hardly seeing much of anything with this line. We're talking pea-size hail, maybe at the most. So, I mean, you may get some small hail out of the line, but for the most part, it is going to be those winds that will be the concern as this line continues to push through. In fact, I can hear the winds blowing pretty good over the 13 on Your Side studios here this evening as well. So we're going to be keeping a close eye on those winds as we head through the rest of this evening. And of course, that line of storms that remains under severe thunderstorm warnings until 4:15, which is just about 3 minutes away from now. So while we're waiting to see if those warnings are extended, I'm going to go ahead and take a look at our Facebook here and see if I can answer any of the questions that you guys might be having out there. Give me 1 second here. We'll play with some things there. Not quite what I wanted to do. There we go. So again, we're watching the severe thunderstorm warnings that are in place at this hour for the West Michigan shoreline, Oceana County, Mason, Muskegon, Ottawa County, Allegan County, and Van Buren County. Those do continue for another 2 minutes. Checking in the comments here, Chris checking in, Victoria checking in, Angela as well, Lorraine, see Dakota, seeing the Whitecaps up in Fremont, Herb reporting 50 mile per hour winds where he's at in Holton. Laura confirming the audio is working, thanks Laura. Sabrina says she's just outside grabbing things in Muskegon. Things are blowing everywhere. Would not be surprised to see that at all, just because, I mean, again, those winds are sustained around 30 miles per hour in many cases this afternoon, and they're gusting as high as that 45 to 55, even 60 mile per hour range. So 60 mile per hour is a severe thunderstorm, even though there's really no lightning on the radar and very little rainfall with this storm as well. Jacqueline, thanks for that report. I'll pass that along to our newsroom. Power is out in Cloverville at this hour. Power is out in Cloverville, according to Jacqueline. Sherry reporting the rain in Grand Haven. Chris saying skies very dark in Ottawa County. The storms are moving their way through Ottawa County as of right now. Marianne saying they've also lost power in White Cloud. D reporting pretty windy in Twin Lakes. See, Hudsonville, Jamestown, no rain yet, but it's looking dark to the west. Miguel from Reed City is saying it's a very windy, very gusty. So I'm going to go ahead and put the radar back on for a moment, and I'm going to pull up the power outage map here in West Michigan and see what kind of outages we're seeing from consumers right now. And I would expect those to be on the rise here as we head through the next several hours, and those wind reports continue to pick up across the region. Right now, it's not looking too bad in terms of widespread outages. So give me just one moment and we will pull up that outage map. So this is the Consumers Energy outage map that you're looking at right now. About 62 outages being reported with about 3,000 people without power. We do have a power outage here, Hall Street to Burton Street southeast in Grand Rapids area without power. Looking around, there's another power outage up in the Twin Lake area. That's going to be to the south of Ryerson Road and to the east of 120 with a power outage in place at this time. Looking across the rest of West Michigan, I'm not seeing a ton of at least widespread outages. There's a couple sporadic outages across Muskegon, North Muskegon, one near Muskegon Heights, one south of Norton Shores, some minor outages. So the outages for the most part are pretty minor. There's another outage looking to be reported south of Bauer, north of Baldwin Street. It looks like one south of Jennison as well. So they're pretty localized right now, which is what I would expect because it's not traditional severe weather type scenario today. A couple of more sporadic outages near Watson Township and Shelbyville. Small outages there. The same just to the south of Cheshire Center. And it looks like there's one to the north and east of Kalamazoo, north of Augusta Drive. Also a wider power outage in that area. And then you can see just sporadic, these little dots on the map. Each of those is a small power outage. There's a bigger outage in East Grand Rapids. So those are things that we'll be keeping an eye on here this afternoon as well to see how many of those power outages actually do pop up. And I wouldn't be surprised to see more of them as we head through the next little bit. So there's the radar again. Looks like the warnings have expired. So they have expired, the warnings here in West Michigan. As far as a continued threat for wind, that does continue here this afternoon with wind advisories that are going to stay in place through most of the afternoon. In fact, new alerts coming off the printer right now. So we're going to get you guys up to date on what the newest information coming in is here. Sort through these for you. Yeah, the severe thunderstorm warning has expired for Mason, Muskegon, and Oceana counties, and the severe thunderstorm warning for Van Buren, Allegan, and Ottawa counties has also expired. So that is good news there. That means that wind threat has dropped below that severe threshold. Again, that 60-mile-per-hour wind that we were expecting here earlier this afternoon. So let's go ahead and we'll recap things here, wrap up this stream, and get you guys back on with the rest of your afternoon. We'll be tracking anything that happens, anything that changes throughout the rest of the evening here at 13 on your side. Of course, though, right now we're watching areas of showers and occasional really gusty winds coming through West Michigan that may get close to severe thunderstorm strength. That line of storms right now, the heavier portion is working its way toward US 131 into Newaygo County. You can see it coming through eastern Muskegon County into Ottawa County and working its way toward Grand Rapids here. I can already hear the winds picking up outside our studio. In fact, I'll look back at our weather station right now. We're seeing sustained winds around 20 miles per hour here at 13 on your side. And those gusts can be as high as 30 to 40 miles per hour pretty easily ahead of the storm line coming through. That line continues down into Allegan County and Van Buren County. It's all moving to the northeast at around, again, 45 miles per hour. So we're going to put a bigger track on it here, and we'll track the whole line as it comes through West Michigan this afternoon. Again, to the northeast at around 45 miles per hour. That's going to be in Bangor by 423, Hudsonville at 428, Newaygo at 431, Grand Rapids by 442, Kentwood at 448, Reed City at 452, Big Rapids by 455, Greenville at 513, and Lowell also at 513. This is all part of that bigger weather system that is pushing through West Michigan, bringing us those gusty winds today. Again, the winds right now gusting as high as 36 in Grand Rapids, 40 in Holland, 38 in Muskegon, and 33 in South Haven, 45 gust in Kalamazoo. Sustained winds in most locations over 20 miles per hour. When it comes to the max gusts, at least the gusts that have been observed by the weather stations at this hour, you can see a lot of upper 30s, mid 40s across West Michigan, 48 observed gust in Muskegon. We just got a couple of extra wind reports in here as well. Northeast of Portage, Kalamazoo County, 53 mile per hour winds, and 52 in Calhoun County, that one near Springfield. So again, we're keeping an eye on those strong winds this afternoon. Those winds expected to continue into this evening. You can see 30 to 40, even as high as 50 mile per hour gust continue through about 8 o'clock. We still see winds that gust as high as 30 to 40 after 8, but that's when the worst of the winds are done. We'll see 20 mile per hour gust overnight, and then again 20 to 30 mile per hour winds tomorrow. So breezy conditions going to stay in place through the weekend, but the wind advisory criteria right now expires at 8 o'clock tonight. That's when those wind advisories do come to an end for us here in West Michigan. So between now and then, make sure you're using caution, especially near trees that may be weaker, that may have some limbs that could fall, areas where power lines could come down, and if you're driving a high-profile vehicle on those east-west roads, that would be an area to use caution with as those winds continue to come out of the south-southwest pretty strongly here this afternoon. The hour-by-hour forecast shows the line of showers and storms pushing through West Michigan, exiting our viewing area as we head past 6, 7 o'clock tonight. And once it does, we should be done with the rain. But the wind will continue overnight, again dropping below advisory criteria after 8 o'clock. Sunny conditions return for your Sunday, but again, we'll be looking at windy conditions throughout this forecast. So it's something to keep in mind here across West Michigan. So I'm going to take a moment here real quick, and we're going to get to a few more Facebook comments that I might have missed before, and then we're going to wrap things up and get you guys back on your way for the afternoon. Tracy reporting power outage is between Middleville and Caledonia. Says it went out about 2:30, 3 o'clock. Thanks for that, Tracy. I'll make sure to pass that along to our newsroom as well. Nadine says flower pots and signs were flying down the sidewalks in Fremont. Yeah, anything that was small that wasn't taken in before that wind got here, certainly going to be blown around this afternoon. Jessica saying just heavy wind, light rain in Muskegon. Yeah, this line is very rain poor, shall we say, but it's certainly got a lot of wind with it. That's the big concern here Heather's in Illinois, says they've had wind as high as 78 today, so thankfully we haven't had to deal with that. Samuel saying wind picking up in Grand Rapids, definitely picking up here in Grand Rapids. Also really windy in Holland from Paula. Heather saying, let's see, wait, Heather, you were in Illinois, correct? Yeah. Heather had some damage there in Illinois. So I'm sorry to hear that, Heather. Hope everything is okay with you guys there. Those trees can definitely do some damage there. Brenda also saying power went out, came back on about 4 minutes in Robinson Township near Grand Haven. So yeah, those power outages today likely to be more scattered than anything else and hopefully short-lived. Haven't seen widespread outages as of now, but we're going to be watching that this afternoon as the winds still continue to be quite gusty for the next several hours. And as you guys well know, it only takes one stray tree to go through a line, and it could take out a whole town, take out a pretty good-sized neighborhood. So when it comes to that power, so we're going to be keeping a close eye on that. We'll be updating you guys if any more alerts do come through this afternoon as well. But for now, I'm meteorologist Michael Behrens in the 13 on Your Side Weather Center. Stay safe this afternoon. Watch out for those winds, and you can track the latest weather 13onyourside.com/radar or by downloading the 13 on Your Side news and weather apps.
This was a severe weather alert from 13 on Your Side.